Hi, it's Sue. Thanks for joining me for today's Bible reading. I'm reading for March 19th, Judges 3 through 5, verse 1. Now these are the nations which Yahweh left, to test Israel by them, even as many as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at least those who knew nothing of it before, the 5 lords of the Philistines, all the Canaanites, the Sidonians, and the Hivites who lived on Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon to the entrance of Hamath. They were left to test Israel by them, to know whether they would listen to Yahweh's commandments, which he commanded their fathers by Moses. The children of Israel lived among the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. They took their daughters to be their wives and gave their own daughters to their sons and served their gods. The children of Israel did that which was evil in Yahweh's sight and forgot Yahweh their God, and served Baals and the Ashtoreth. Therefore Yahweh's anger burned against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, and the children of Israel served him 8 years. When the children of Israel cried to Yahweh, Yahweh raised up a savior to the children of Israel who saved them, even Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. Yahweh's spirit came on him, and he judged Israel, and he went out to war, and Yahweh delivered Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand. His hand prevailed against Cushan-Rishathaim. The land had rest 40 years. Then Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. The children of Israel again did what was evil in Yahweh's sight, and Yahweh strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done that which was evil in Yahweh's sight. He gathered the children of Ammon and Amalek to himself, and he went and struck Israel, and they possessed the city of palm trees. The children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. But when the children of Israel cried to Yahweh, Yahweh raised up a savior for them, Ehud, the son of Gera, the Benjamite, a left-handed man. The children of Israel sent tribute by him to Eglon, king of Moab. Ehud made himself a sword which had 2 edges and a cubit in length, and he wore it under his clothing on his right thigh. He offered a tribute to Eglon, king of Moab. Now, Eglon, excuse me, I don't know whether to call it Eglon or Eglon. I'll just call him Eglon. Now, Eglon was a very fat man. When he had finished offering the tribute, he sent away the people who carried the tribute. But he himself turned back from the stone idols that were at Gilgal and said, I have a secret message for you, O king. The king said, Keep silence. All who stood by left him. Ehud came to him, and he was sitting by himself alone in the cool upper room. Ehud said, I have a message from God for you. He rose up out of his seat. Ehud put out his left hand, took the sword from his right thigh, and thrust it into his body. The handle also went in after the blade, and the fat closed on the blade, for he didn't draw the sword out of his body. It came out behind. Then Ehud went out onto the porch and shut the doors of the upper room on him and locked them. After he had gone, his servants came and saw that the doors of the upper room were locked. They said, Surely he is covering his feet in the upper room. They waited until they were ashamed, and behold, he didn't open the doors of the upper room. Therefore they took the key and opened it, and behold, their lord had fallen down dead on the floor. Ehud escaped while they waited, passed beyond the stone idols, and escaped to Sierra. When he had come, he blew a trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim, and the children of Israel went down with him from the hill country, and he led them. He said to them, Follow me, for Yahweh has delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. They followed him and took the fords of the Jordan against the Moabites, and didn't allow any man to pass over. They struck at that time about 10,000 men of Moab, every strong man and every man of valor. No man escaped. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel. Then the land had rest 80 years. After him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, who struck 600 men of the Philistines with an ox goad. He also saved Israel. The children of Israel again did that which was evil in Yahweh's sight when Ehud was dead. Yahweh sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose army was Sisera, who lived in Harosheth of the Gentiles. The children of Israel cried to Yahweh, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and he mightily oppressed the children of Israel for 20 years. Now Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, judged Israel at that time. Let me say that again. Deborah, prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, judged Israel at that time. She lived under Deborah's palm trees between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. She sent and called Barak the son of Abinoam out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said to him, Hasn't Yahweh the God of Israel commanded, Go and lead the way to Mount Tabor, and take with you 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and the children of Zebulun? I will draw to you to the river Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, and his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him into your hand. Barak said to her, If you will go with me, then I will go, but if you will not go with me, I will not go. She said, I will surely go with you. Nevertheless, the journey that you take won't be for your honor, for Yahweh will sell Sisera into a woman's hand. Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali together to Kadesh, and 10,000 men followed him, and Deborah went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite had separated himself from the Kenites, even from the children of Hobab, Moses' brother-in-law, and had pitched his tent as far as the oak in Zananim, which is by Kadesh. They told Sisera that Barak the son of Abinoam was gone up to Mount Tabor. Sisera gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people who were with him, from the Parasheth of the Gentiles to the river of Kishon. Deborah said to Barak, Go, for this is the day which Yahweh has delivered Sisera into your hand. Hasn't Yahweh gone before you? So Barak went down from the mountain Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. Yahweh confused Sisera and all the chariots and all his army with the edge of the sword before Barak. Sisera abandoned his chariot and fled away on foot. But Barak pursued the chariots and the army to Harosheth of the Gentiles, and all the army of Sisera fell by the edge of the sword. There was not a man left. However, Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, for there was peace between Jabin the king of Hazor and the house of Heber the Kenite. Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, Turn in, my lord, turn in to me. Don't be afraid. He came into her into the tent, and she covered him with a rug. He said to her, Please give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. She opened a bottle of milk, gave him a drink, and covered him. He said to her, Stand in the door of the tent, and if any man comes and inquires of you, and says, Is a man here? You will say no. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a tent peg, and took a hammer in her hand, and went softly to him, and struck the pin into his temples, and pierced it through into the ground, for he was deep asleep. He was in deep sleep, so he fainted and died. Behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came to meet him, and said to him, Come, and I will show you the man whom you seek. He came to her, and behold, Sisera lay dead, and the tent peg in his temples. So God subdued Jabin, the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel that day. The hand of the children of Israel prevailed more and more against Jabin, the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin, king of Canaan. Well, it's interesting because Deborah, the judge, said, if I go with you, it's going to be to the honor of a woman that the victory was made. And then you have over here another woman who also played a huge part in this victory. So you have two women here who very indirectly, not as warriors wielding swords, but very indirectly took that battle. That's pretty cool. God used two women who barely did anything. Well, I guess putting a tent peg in a man's temple is not barely doing anything, but she didn't go fight a whole big army. Very interesting. I never noticed that before. All right, last chapter, verse 1. Then Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, sang on that day, saying, Because the leaders took the lead in Israel, because the people offered themselves willingly, be blessed Yahweh. Hear you kings, give ear you princes, I, even I, will sing to Yahweh. I will sing praise to Yahweh, the God of Israel. Yahweh, when you went out to Seir, you marched out of the field of Edom. The earth trembled, the sky also dropped. Yes, the clouds dropped water. The mountains quaked, Yahweh's presence. Even Sinai at the presence of Yahweh, the God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were unoccupied. The travelers walked through byways. The rulers ceased in Israel. They ceased until I, Deborah, arose. Until I arose, a mother in Israel. They chose new gods. Then war was in the gates. Was there a shield or a spear seen among 40,000 in Israel? My heart is toward the governors of Israel, who offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless Yahweh. Speak, you who ride on the white donkeys, you who sit on rich carpets and who walk by the way, far from the noise of archers, in the place of drawing water. There they will rehearse Yahweh's righteous acts, the righteous acts of his rule in Israel. Then Yahweh's people went down to the gates. Awake, awake, Deborah. Awake, awake, utter a song. Arise, Barak, and lead your captives, you son of Abinoam. Then a remnant of the nobles and of the people came down. Yahweh came down for me against the mighty. Those whose root is Amalek came out of Ephraim after you. Benjamin among your peoples. Governors come down out of Machir. Those who handle the marshal's staff came out of Zebulun. The princes of Issachar were with Deborah. As was Issachar, so was Barak. They rushed into the valley at his feet. By the watercourses of Reuben, there were great resolves of heart. Why did you sit among the sheepfolds to hear the whistling for the flocks? At the watercourses of Reuben, there were great searchings of heart. Gilead lived beyond the Jordan. Why did Dan remain in ships? Asher sat still at the haven of the sea and lived by his creeks. Zebulun was a people that jeopardized their lives to the death. Naphtali also on the high places of the field. So it's like they're bragging. We went, you didn't. Um, the kings came and fought. Then the kings of Canaan fought at Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo. They took no plunder of silver. From the sky the stars fought. From their courses they fought against Sisera. The river Kishon swept them away, and the ancient river, the river Kishon. My soul marched on with strength. Then the horse hoofs stamped because of the prancing of their strong ones. Curse Meroz, said Yahweh's angel. Curse bitterly its inhabitants, because they didn't come to help Yahweh against the mighty. Jael shall be blessed above women, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Blessed shall she be above women in the tent. He asked for water, she gave him milk. She brought him butter in a lordy dish. She put her hand to the tent peg and her right hand to the workman's hammer. With the hammer she struck Sisera. She struck through his head. Yes, she pierced and struck through his temples. At her feet he bowed, he fell, he lay. At her feet he bowed, he fell. Where he bowed, there he fell, down dead. Through the window she looked out and cried. Sisera's mother looked through the lattice. Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why do the wheels of his chariots wait? Her wise ladies answered her. Yes, she returned. Answer to herself. Have they not found, have they not divided the plunder? A lady, 2 ladies to every man. To Sisera, a plunder of dyed garments, a plunder of dyed garments embroidered on both sides, on the necks of the plunder. So let all your enemies perish, Yahweh, but so let all your enemies perish, Yahweh, but let those who love him be as the sun when it rises in its strength. Then the land had rest for 40 years. That's it for today. Be sure to join me tomorrow for the next 2 chapters. God bless you. Shalom, shalom.